The protagonist is suffering due to the world he is living in, a medieval settlement in which all the locals avoid him and refer to him as a scavenger. He attempts to sell some products, but the vendor pays him much lower than the market price. He is outraged, but the person says that he has no right to voice his opinion and is merely a trash person. The narration also mentions that there are many perilous beasts in the realm. They are hunted by people known as adventurers who are trying to get hold of valuable and rare resources by slaying the creatures. As the adventurers continue to battle, their level increases, which leads to a notable rise in their power. The level decides their fate in this world, and the hero is stuck in the lowest rank. His name is Ark. He is on good terms with the baker who gives him bread. The baker offers Ark to leave his job as an adventurer. However, the guy believes that it is too late to quit this job as he has been dreaming of this career since he was a child. Nevertheless, when he got involved in this industry, he found out that he was cursed. Ark tried to fight monsters as hard as he could, but the level remained and eventually he ran out of money without realizing it. He began to loot corpses. For this, he was dubbed Scavenger Resources of the first level. He had to rob high-level monsters walking down the street with bread. Ark was confronted by an adventurer named Jark before he had a chance to apologize. They threw him to the ground and crushed his bread, humiliating him again. The town knew that they called him the Scavenger. The Scavenger was depressed, and he did not understand why they treated him like that. In order not to starve to death, he wandered around the goblin lair in search of corpses and discovered a corpse of a high-level dragon. Ark cuts open the dragon's stomach in order to retrieve valuable items. Ark, however, took away everything valuable. He opened the dragon's stomach, and he found armor in there, and the guy wanted to run away. A mysterious voice told Ark to put on armor so he could escape. Ark tries to fight, but he loses his sword. He accepts Armor's suggestion to wear it, in which he says it's better than being killed by goblins. The guy has a sharp sword in his hand at the start of the battle. Despite the fact that he is only level 6, he continuously attacks the goblins. After finishing with the monsters, the scavenger realizes with shock that he has raised his level to the 6th. He doesn't understand how he raised his level because he cannot gain experience. He can absorb level Ark using the Abyss armor, and he is inspired by the fact that he can become much stronger. Ark gets stronger and more formidable. As a result, the goblins won't be able to touch him inside his armor at the moment a goblin approaches him from behind. Ark is at a loss because there should be no high-level monsters in this cave. It turns out to be the Lord of the Goblins, who is overseeing a horde of goblins. The scavenger assumes that the goblins were lured in by the stench of the dragon's corpse, which the armor advises to retreat. The enemy's level is too high. The goblin lord assaults Ark, who has to run deep into the cave while the guy is thinking how to get out. He is attacked by goblins of the first level, and the scavenger is annoyed by this monster and kills the goblins with one hand when a guy absorbs a level and a concept arises as to how he will be able to defeat the lord. The guy meets a fork marked with a torch on his way to Armory. Ark follows his advice and finds loads of gold in the side caves. After exploring the treasury, he searches for something useful in one of the boxes. He finds recovery potions and decides to use them on the armor. After returning to the city alive, Ark will be able to make money by selling materials as well as being able to buy them. Ark wants to take some gold, but his main objective is to return to the city alive and then to get rich by selling materials. When Ark hears someone's voice coming from behind a large box, it's a young girl from the village of Raku'u who was recently kidnapped by goblins. In gratitude for the rescue, she asks for the name of the savior. The girl is surprised that she has heard a lot of rumors about a corpse collector. Ark doesn't look like someone people hate at all, and that's what the girl said to Ark, calling him a hero, and the guy is happy because he is called a hero, and he is going to take the girl to the village after wandering around the cave for a while. He asks Mill to hide behind rocks for a while. Ark is becoming increasingly worried about a large number of goblins. He charges into battle and kills opponents and absorbs their level, thereby attaining the 35th level. Once she leaves, the Lord of the Goblins comes, and Ark engages in battle with him. After wounding him in the side, the main goblin encircles him, and he does not want to be distracted by them. He asks Mill to provide him with knives, and she fulfills his request. However, the main goblin does not bother him at all. He catches knives one by one and kills goblins, thereby earning a level. After finishing with them, Ark raises the level to the 45th and engages in battle with the Goblin Lord. The guy wants to deal with him quickly, but goblins are surprisingly strong. The armor informs him that a bracelet that enhances performance in battle increases its strength. Normally, a level is not that hard to raise. Thus, adventure equipment that improves performance in order to become stronger is always a good choice. A guy might have to resort to using both hands. By throwing knives at the Lord, Ark manages to get the job done. The Mill is in hiding, and she is surprised that he is courageous and proud. She praises him, saying that he has become the strongest adventurer in the area. Together, they find valuable materials from the Goblin Lord's corpse. Ark is surprised what to do with the rest of the goblins. The Goblin Lord's corpse can be left since there is no point in hiding your strength. The guy asks Mill to stay a little longer, and she agrees. The guy decides to finish off kidnappings and exterminate all the goblins in the cave after he ends them. After finishing the cave, he got the 100th level and returned to the city with the materials. Ark is happy that he can become a real adventurer. The girl says that he is no longer a beginner, but the strongest adventurer in the village. The guy believes that he has not met adventurers with a 3-digit level before. Ark can become even stronger, and she believes in it while they are talking about adventurers led by Jarga approach them. He laughs at ARC, saying that no armor will make him stronger, and he will remain a weakling. Art gets angry and threatens to stab Jark with a knife, demanding that he shut up. He attacks Ark, but he easily knocks the sword out of the opponent's hands, leaving Jarg frightened and called a monster. His friends want to attack the scavenger, but they are afraid of his appearance. They decide to look at the adventurer's level after learning that he has the 100th level. The adventurous runaway screams Mill, who is pleased that the guy has changed. They enter the merchant's shop, thinking that he has brought some garbage. At the moment of the merchant's surprise, the guy says that he can find somebody else to sell all his loot to the merchant. The guy buys everything while they are in the baker, and they go to the baker to eat some bread. He finds out that he has a lot of gold, but he is surprised when Ark tells him that someone is screaming. He goes to the source of the sound, and a lot of people have gathered. 2 wolf-like monsters have attacked a girl. Ark saves her and starts fighting the monsters. The monsters turn out to be werewolves of the 8th level. There are more of them. People shout that they need to call Jarg and his group, but Ark recalls that he recently fled from them in terror. He fights monsters, but remembers that there are a lot of people here. He's harboring a young boy who recognizes him as a scavenger and continues to fight werewolves. Although he is 172nd level, he remembers for sure that there were 10 of them, so he missed one. He is rushing towards a little girl to save her, but the werewolf jumped on her. He doesn't have time to think because he wants to save all his people. He whips a sword at the werewolf, and it is defeated. The girl is happy that the scavenger brothers saved her, and she thanks him for saving her. The guy is surrounded by other residents who want to have a serious conversation with him, and he is about to leave because they do not want to see his face. However, the girl's mother, other residents, and thank him for saving her. Ark, after receiving the power, will become an amazing adventurer and will protect their lives after his speech. He walks away into the sunset the next day, and the handsome girl Mill meets Ark in the street, asking where his armor is. The guy says that he found out that he can take off and put on this armor at any time. Ark says he's glad he was able to find this armor in the past when he was troubled by it where a dragon came from. But he's still troubled by the question, where did it come from in the goblin's cave? Even though Yarg and his associates have fled from an unknown monster into the corpses of the goblins, he doesn't understand what a powerful monster this is doing here. The monster has crushed him. After escaping the one-eyed giant, the team of Yarg's warriors pursues after him, but the giant has now grown to be a formidable threat. After following him all the way to the goblin cave, they think he has finally come to an end. After all, they thought he was dying. However, the giant has eaten his victim and is turning into a much stronger being. This scare makes the group flee, and they notice something is wrong. The giant is eating a corpse, and Ark is terrified. As soon as he gets close to the goal, he notices the horrible stench. Then he sees this new giant with a mysteriously similar appearance. As he approaches, he feels the awful smell and sees a mutated one-eyed giant holding a corpse. In order to catch up with Cyclops before it reaches the village, Ark heals himself with a healing potion and then continues to the village, during which he encounters a still-living Jarg. He demands a healing potion from the guy, but he is unable to save the adventurer Jarg. Ark learns from the armor that it is also possible to level up from people after a little farewell conversation. The guy kills Jargon and gets the 200th level. The Cyclops of the Abyss is heading to the village, but Ark is in his way. The guy makes a heroic appeal to finish off the enemy and, while doing so, attacks the monster. It turns out to be stronger than it seems. Because of a trick, Ark was able to damage the Cyclops. The monster is now aware of what is about to happen. Ark rushes after the Cyclops to save the villagers and keep the monster from recovering. Unfortunately, the monster runs away again. When the Cyclops reaches the baker, the old man stands calmly in front of him, aware that running is futile and that buying time for the hero is better. Ark comes to his aid without knowing what to do, and the baker gives him the bread that the beggar ate when he was a vagrant. The guy continues to attack, striking more and more blows. Suddenly, Ark grabs him by the blade and throws him against one of the houses, forcing Ark to get up and rush into battle again. This boy was left alone, and he could not get out. A man tells him to run, but he is afraid. Cyclops jumps on him, and Ark manages to repel it. The boy is run away, but he cannot move anymore. He is wounded by Cyclops. The Cyclops attacks the man with a beam from the eye, and he flies away. Ark wants to heal, but he has no more potion on impact. Suddenly, he loses consciousness. He is not aware of his surroundings anymore. He wants to help, so he asks for help. He is coming to his senses as he becomes aware, and an ordinary village girl lends him her assistance. She wants to assist the hero in order to be born and raised in this village. The guy wants to return to the battlefield, but she says that he is still too weak to fight. They must flee from the monster as she insists that he knows Ark, not only as a collector of corpses, but also as a hero. Because she witnessed how courageous and heroic Ark was while fighting werewolves, she believes that he will be able to help the village. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to find out what happens next. Thank you for watching.